Hey everyone, it's Nick with Us versus Herd. If it's your first time here, you like the content, hit subscribe. If you want to get notifications for we go live Monday through Friday, 30 minutes after market close. And we also post our watch list at night, 9 p.m. Central. Hit the bell. It'll notify you when we go live or post videos. And if you want to join the UVH fam, links are below to our Discord. Along with our free option trading group, the Discord is free too. If you're here right now, say what up. Yo, Class A out, what's going on? How's everyone doing today? Happy Monday, we're back at it. We're getting things popping off. Jeff, what's going on? How we doing today? Anyways, we are here live. And the market today, S&P's closed barely unchanged from. I mean, looks like a lot of action today, but barely unchanged from Friday. Poor Tobin, what's going on? If you're here right now, say what up. If you made money today, comment got paid. If you lost money today, comment learned a lesson. Let's see what we can do here. Let's see what's going on. Yeah, YouTube has been kind of like a mess. Like it doesn't give me the right. YouTube has been making a lot of like algorithm changes and not only algorithm changes but also like studio changes and getting used to like the back end. So I'm not too fluid here. Luis got paid, stayed about even today. Bad trade on Alta, but made money on Spy. Nice. All right. Getting things situated on my end. Yeah. So today I'm up about like 115 or so. We had some good trades. We had some bad trades, and overall we came through, for the win. And the reason why I said today was a confidence building today because on Friday I had my first red day since August 28th. On Friday, and I didn't want to make it another red day. So like when you have a red day, you need sort of like a confidence building day. You don't try to go for the big trades. You don't try to go. You try to stay a little bit conservative. I mean, it may look like I traded a lot, which I did, but you don't want to go for. You don't want to try to go all in on any trades and get crazy. Mr. the Man, what up? Got paid. Jeff made $490. Stayed about even. Nice. So, go through some of these trades here. What we got going on. Let me minimize here. All right. So it all started out with BYND. So I made some money earlier this morning, and then I lost some money today, and then I came back in the green. So there was actually a point where I was up like 80. Then I went down like I think like $50 in the day, and then I actually closed up like $115. So I did take some time off. Like I don't know if you guys know, but like before August, I did take a couple months off of trading, and since August, I've been trading pretty consistently, pretty aggressively, pretty much every day, and trying to get back into the zone of things. And with that, I've been working on scaling up my size a little bit. So I had a quick win today on BYND. I bought the 145 put for 295, and then I sold it for 335. And if you look at BYND, that was a pretty crazy trade this morning. Oh, sorry. Okay, sorry guys. Shooting out some text here quick. So BYND this morning, I did a quick scalp trade. I bought it at 902 and I sold it at 909. So within 7 minutes. So right here, it started to fall through. I bought it up at the top here when it cracked under 150, and then it dropped here like 148 area. Actually, a little bit before that, like right. It was like right in 148, right around here. I sold that for 40 bucks. It wasn't huge, but like I said, you need a confidence building day. But I was thinking it was going to go towards 145 today, but I was really glad that I sold that position because it came back up here, and then that 150, that 145 put was really, let's ride the 145 put here. Okay. So yeah, the 145 put went as high as 361 a day, and I sold it for 335, and it was as low as 99 cents at one point today. Since you mainly day trade, you have to keep your account above the pattern day trade limit, right? Or how does that work to not catch a 90-day ban? If you have a cash account, you can, and you're just buying and selling naked calls or puts. There's no PDD. You do have to keep in mind how much cash you have in your account to cover that. Yeah. So after BYND crash, I then bought some calls. I bought the 152.50 at 10.36 for 214. I took a $14 loss. So at 10.36, when I was making this move up here, I bought the 152.50 calls because I thought I was going to make a push to like 153 area up in here, 153, 154, and it didn't. So that's why I took right here, as you can see, I sold it for $2. So I had the 152.50 calls, bought them for 214, sold them for $2, and then since I noticed that it was going to fall apart, I then bought the 240, the 145 puts again, and this time I bought them a little bit cheaper. Last time I bought them for 295, then I bought them for 246, and I sold them for 305. So I was playing that 145 put pretty good today. So we made a little bit more money on that. So when it came down here, so at 11.19, I bought it for 246. So I was catching on this drop right in here, and then at 11.39, I bought it. I sold it for 305. So when it's push up here, so I sold it right up in here when I was making this push for 305. So it was a little dicey, as you can see here. Holding it didn't really pay off. So with BYND especially, you have to be very careful because when it flattens out like this, you can see how much premium gets sucked up. It goes from $3 to $2.50 real quick. I mean, sure, it bounces around, but you have to be really careful. Also, I did notice. I mean, it's a very liquid. The options are very liquid, but you do have to take note that the stock doesn't move as fast as other stocks. Made a mine on 299 put on SPY. Well, I lost some money on SPY today, which I will show you here. I mean, I lost. I had two back-to-back losers on so I lost $60 on SPY and SPY, and then I lost $63 on ROKU, which is just like crazy. Getting into the next trade here, yeah, SPY is where I lost some money in here. Hopefully I get it back tomorrow, but yeah, I bought the, so let's pull this up here. So I was trading same day expiration when I have the I had the 299 call, and I bought it for 27 cents, and I bought 4 of them for 27 cents, and I sold them for 12 cents. So we lost a little bit more than 50% on that. We lost the $60. This fake out right here, I thought that it was gonna continue higher. I thought it was gonna push to like 299, and it really just didn't. I should have sold it up in here. But I was trading the same day expiration, 299 calls. Yeah, these expired worthless. So, that's why, like, if you're trading same day expiration, you can't just let it ride, because these just went straight down. They went as high as 60 cents. I bought them for 27 cents right in here. They never really recovered. They pushed as high as 29 cents and then just dropped the rest of the day. So, you gotta be careful trading same day expiration. That's why taking a 50-60% loss is better than going to zero. I mean, so I got back some money out of my SPY position. I sold it at 12 cents, which was like right in here, and then I went from 12 cents right down to pretty much worthless I did buy at close here, I did buy the 298 call for 89 cents. So we'll kind of see how that goes. I think I'm up on that position a couple bucks, but we had a pretty nice close. When it dipped down in here at 2:37 p.m. on Central Time, I closed that. I opened that position. So I'm swinging that, and they're like, why would you swing that? I haven't been really swinging positions here. And the reason why I'm going to swing this position, it costs 89 cents. I figured even if I go down 50%, I can recover that $45, $50 tomorrow. It's not a big deal. So I didn't feel the need to hedge, because hedging the position like with a strangle or something, I feel it's going to be too expensive. And if we look at those, let's see, where are they at here? The SPY. So I did get them for Wednesday. I mean, the delta's 52 on them. So if we go up a buck, we'll be making 50%. I'm not looking for a big win here. Just looking for a small gainer. I'm not looking for it to turn into hundreds of dollars or anything like that. I mean, if we gap up tomorrow, or even just go to like 298.75, 299 area, I honestly will be happy, and I'll just close the position. So either way, tomorrow at open, I'm going to close that position, and then we'll look to trade some new positions on SPY. Let's see what else we trade here. We traded ROKU. So yeah, ROKU was my other loser. ROKU was my other loser. And this is what kind of put me in the hole a little bit today, even though I wasn't really trading like that big in size, but it put me a little bit in the hole. I bought it for $1.90, sold it for $1.27. We lost $63, and I had the 180 call. Obviously, that's going to be a losing position, but I'm glad that I cut that position. I cut it within an hour. The position was profitable, so at 9:56, I put the position on. It came down a little bit and then it was just starting to break down. So at 10:42, when it broke here, like the 167 area at 10:42, I sold that position. I was really glad that I did, because that turned into, if we look at that call, the 180 call, I was looking for a little bit of bounce on ROKU, and it didn't. It didn't. And that's just the way it goes. Like some days it's a buy the dip kind of day, and some days it's not. Like, in terms of ROKU, today was definitely not. Daniel made it out alive today. Congrats. I sold it for $1.27, and it's 49 cents. So it's 49 cents right now. So I would have lost more money if we let it go. So I'm definitely glad that I was able to cut it. The one thing that I will say is, since August, I've been pretty diligent about cutting my losers and then taking my profits for my winners, which has been causing me, even if when I have red days, I mean, they're not that bad. We're able to bounce back pretty easily. Or even like during the day, intraday, I may go red for a little bit, but I'm able to bounce back because of that discipline. I'm able to close out my losers, find another winner, and move on. And that's kind of where I've been finding success in this market, not letting things run. Because I mean, ROKU could have dipped down here to 166, popped back up to 178. I mean, we've seen ROKU get like really crazy. I mean, even like on days like in here, I mean, it went down to 160, and then within a day we're back up to 170. So, and 168 that near close. I mean, so you just gotta be careful, and you have to take your profits, and you have to take your losers off the table. You can't just ride it to zero, because that's what it's going to do. I mean, I sold it for $1.27. It's like $80 less now. You don't want to take those losses like that. You just don't want to take the lumps. Like, the kind of way that I've been looking at the market lately is I mean, I feel like nobody really knows which direction we're going to go. I mean, I know that we did break higher on the S&Ps. I mean, there's this trade talk stuff, and there's, it's been like this for a year, almost over a year now, that, it goes down on trade news, goes up on trade news, and no one's really focusing, I feel like, on the actual company or the valuations, and no one's really talking about that. I mean, you go on CNBC, they're not talking about that. They're just not talking about that. So when you don't know, you have to you don't really know how a stock is priced, or why does ROKU go up to 180 Why is it up 80% in a month? I mean, we don't know, but you know, in terms of Roku, it just kept ripping until we had a big down day, and then it's still, I mean, relatively. If you're looking at Roku here, it's still relatively high compared to where it was a month ago. It was a 129 a month ago, and we're at 160. You know, does it get old staying in this unpredictable style? I love it, but I'm pretty new. Does it get old? I think sometimes it gets frustrating because I think for most people, especially for me, it gets frustrating that, I mean, the nice thing about being in a cycle is that it's repetitive and it's an easy pattern to learn. However, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense from like a company value, like a valuation, or where things should be valued, or what the stock. Because I mean, what's his name? Trump even says that, like, oh, if we didn't have the trade war, you know, S&Ps would be, you know, Dow would be 30K or whatever. What did he say? He said something like that, something crazy, and you don't know. You don't know where we would be. Like he also says like, oh, if Hillary won, the stock market would be a lot lower. But there's no way to prove that because things have already happened. We don't know where the stock market would be without the trade war. We just know where we are today, you know, and we don't know where things are going to go. Maybe this is going to be good for a short-term pop, and then a bubble burst, and we all die. We don't know. I mean, we're not going to die, but it'll be crazy. I mean, eventually the stock market is going to go down for a year or two, and you know, we'll have recessions and stuff like that. But I mean, we can't really determine when that's going to be, and you can't guess when that's going to happen. I mean, that's where you start losing your money. Like people kept guessing the top while they keep shorting. Meanwhile, their account balance is getting a lot smaller. So you can't do that. You kind of have to go with the flow and trade accordingly. If you're here right now, say what up. If this video was of value to you so far, hit the like button. I would appreciate it. Yo, Mr. Toxic Cake, Derek, what's going on? Just going through my trades, up 115 on the day. I did, after Roku, I traded. So after SPY and Roku, as you can see, that's where the majority of my pain was today. The rest actually traded fairly well in today. Home Depot, we caught a very small move. I mean, I made like 5% on this. Bought it for $1.72, sold it for $1.84. This was a little bit of a, I wouldn't say like, I guess it was kind of risky, but I thought that this had the potential to break 230. I mean, Home Depot has been on a rip lately, just constantly making highs up in here ever since earnings. And today it was selling off pretty big, and I caught it a little late, so I bought it at 11.11. I put the position on, so right in here, and then I sold it at 11.44. So I sold it right on this candle right in here, right at the start of this one. So it was like 230.82, and then it ripped up. So I'm definitely glad that I took. I mean, 5% win, even though it's small, is better than a 10% loss, 20% loss, 30% loss, whatever it is. And this would have definitely been a loss. So I bought those. I bought it for $1.72, sold it for $1.84. So I made $12. Not great, but better than losing. And looking at the 232, I had the 230 put. So, you know, it got dicey. I sold it for $1.84, which was like near the high of the day. I sold it right here, near the high of the day, $1.84, right in here. Yeah, 11.44. So right in here, $1.84. I sold that, and then ever since then, now it's 97 cents. So, you know, I'm definitely glad that I took profits on that. It was like, people are like, oh, you didn't do very well in that trade. I saved myself from losing a lot of money, which is a win for me. I made 5%, and I didn't go this way. I mean, I should have switched to calls like I did on but I didn't. I was at this point, because I got out of Home Depot, I got out of these trades. Markets are pretty much trending most of the day, which I hate, like choppy. Yeah. After Home Depot, I was pretty much just done with trading, because I came back from a negative balance, and then I was green on the day, and I didn't want to keep pushing. I didn't know where the opportunities are going to go. I mean, I thought at some point, like Home Depot, I didn't think it was going to go back up. I thought I was going to maybe like flatten out around here, have a consolidation day, but Apparently it wanted something else. But Home Depot has been moving, and I want to shout out to the UVH chat. I mean, Billy put me onto this to Home Depot like last week. He was trading a little bit, and then I actually just put my first trade on it today. So I've traded Home Depot in the past, but it's not a stock that I actively trade. TEVA was another one that I made a little bit of money on today. Going into, yeah, so that was it for my trade except for TEVA. So TEVA, let's go back here. Okay, so TEVA, this was a swing trade from Friday. I bought the 750 calls for 8 cents. I bought 10 of them, which was a small trade, and then I've sold them for 14 cents here. You know, we're up like 80%, and I also opened another trade for like 3 cents. And TEVA, I've been trading a bit over the last month or so, not super aggressively, but it has been moving. It's been kind of gravitating towards the 7 mark. You know, it'll drop, but always comes back to 7. You'll see it drop, go back to 7, almost drop, go back to 7, go up to 7, goes up to 730, drops back down to 7. So when it's around 7, I tend to put a position on. Except for today, I kind of broke trend, so I hope it doesn't burn me alive on this. But the one thing that I want to point out on TEVA was there was at the start of the day, the expected move was like 57 cents, and now it's down to 29 cents. So they really took the premium out of TEVA with the expected move right down in here. So I had the 750. It's actually up a little bit now, a couple cents. So for these plays, you don't want to shoot for like $1. You don't want to shoot for, you know, a 9 cents trade becoming $1, and you know, things like that do happen if you swing trade these type of stocks. I mean, they have news, they have bad news, whatever the case is. But you don't want to just like think this is going to become a 1,000% winner. So I sold mine at 14 cents. So I bought it at 8 cents on Friday at 1 p.m. and then I sold it at 11:21 when it was 14 cents. So right in here. But as you can see, as the premium started getting sucked out on these, when TEVA was right in here, even though it was going a little bit higher, it was pretty much staying the same. It went down to 12 cents, back up to like 15 cents, and then I bought the $8 calls for 3 cents, and I figured, you know, even if I go down 50% on it, you know, we'll still be okay, and we'll see what happens. If it comes back down to 7, I'll just reload the 750s and we'll try again, you know. But I think TEVA has some good news surrounding it, and you know, they're getting over that opioid lawsuit and all that. So I've been trading a little bit. It has been making money, but you gotta understand, you gotta scale up the contracts a little bit, and you can't just like think it's gonna. A lot of people think just because you buy something for like 5 cents, 10 cents, it's gonna turn into $1, $2. Like, that's not always the case. That's not always the expectation. When it goes from 8 cents to 15 cents, I mean, you take the money. Derek, any room on FedEx? FedEx. Yeah, FedEx is another one that's just ripping. They have I think they increased their dividend, right? I don't know. Are they increasing their dividend? No, these are the same. Oh, they have earnings. They have earnings next week, so it might just be a pre-earnings run. Let's look at FedEx. So we have earnings September 17th. Yeah, it might just be a pre-earnings run. I mean, it's been coasting at the bottom of the year here. It made a new 52-week low a few weeks ago, and it needs to. I think it needs to break out of range, like to 179, 176 area. With that being said, yeah, there's more room here. It needs to break the trend. I would wait and see what happens here, because last time earnings, it was like 168, and then it dropped down to 152, came back up to 168, and then dropped down to like the 160. So it might be a strong case for a little bit of a pullback and then push back up. But this is a crazy run here. But I think that FedEx and UPS are, I think, all kind of coasting on fumes right now. UPS is doing fairly well, coming close up to here to like a double top on the 52-week high. But in terms of how much impact, one thing about FedEx is they're stopping. They're not going to be working with Amazon anymore because it wasn't necessarily the best deal for them. So it depends on how, for me, it depends on how that transforms their company and how they're able to make money. I know from Amazon they were treated a little bit unfairly, and they weren't able to make the kind of money that they wanted to make because Amazon, kind of like Walmart, would pressure their suppliers, and then Amazon was starting their own shipping, where they have their own planes. As you know, you see their own trucks out and about now, especially like in the Chicago area. You know that their Amazon is a competitor now, and they don't like that. So, yo, Starman, what's going on? So I think now that they ended that relationship with Amazon, I think it's going to be important to see how they can move forward and how they can evolve, because Amazon, I mean, they were doing a pretty big business through Amazon. So, you know, we'll see what happens. If you're here right now, you haven't said hi, say what up. Definitely want to meet you. If it's your first time here, say hi. We're back on Friday. On Friday, I had a workout at the office, so I streamed at the office instead of my little studio here. A little bit nicer in here. Jeff NVIDIA. I actually didn't look at NVIDIA all day today. I mean, I have been trading it, and I kind of took a break from it. This would have been nice to catch, though. It's nice two-sided action today. But I'm a little bit worried here. It got rejected at the 180, let's say 184 mark, you know, which it tried to push above this resistance over here, like the 183, 184, and right in here, the 180s. It tried to push through, and it couldn't push through, which has me a little bit worried. You know, it needs a gap up to like 185, and then push up to like 190 to break trend. Right now it's not. Right now it's still going to get suppressed here, like 185 in the 180 area. So that would have me a little bit worried that it just fell apart right there, because that's currently where this resistance is, right up in here, as you can see. And I keep trading Tesla. I'll see what up with it tomorrow. Yeah, I mean, Tesla's been a good ride as well. But as you can see here on Tesla, the downtrending pattern is still here. I mean, we have this high here is lower, this high is here lower, then we have these highs in here lower. Now, if this can break up to 240, it'll start breaking the trend. But right now, since earnings, it hasn't broken that trend there. And then a bit of two-sided action today. I mean, nice rip up, and then we had the drop. So we had the, you know, I stayed away from Tesla today just because I didn't understand the price action. We had the gap up, the huge run, and then it gave it back a little bit, and then it made another run just to fall back down. So I haven't traded Tesla since last week, and last week I didn't trade it that great. So right now I'm kind of just watching it and seeing where I can get a good entry on it. I mean, Tesla is one of my favorite stocks to trade, but also it's hard to go long for me, knowing that we're still in this descending pattern here. Now, if we can get to 240, you know, I'll load up on 250, 260 calls all day. but right now I'm still chilling on Tesla. I don't know. It might hit back down to 220s, honestly, and then if it falls, it could go to 200. But I mean, Tesla's a tough one because they're like the underdog. Everyone's bashing on them, and they had that hit piece on them last week. Well, not necessarily a hit piece, but it was that news about that it was due to the car itself that caused that crash that happened 2 years ago that everyone forgot about. But then now that this report is done, they're saying it's Tesla's fault. You know, for Tesla, I think it's hard because you have new technologies and they're trying to break a lot of barriers, and they're not going to get things 100% right. And when they get things wrong, the media wants to lay into them because they're going against the status quo, especially like the big players. But now you can see, you know, Mercedes, Porsche, all these high-end cars are making electric vehicles, you know? Every time I think of Tesla, I think of Elon Musk. Yeah. I mean, Elon had a rocky year. Also, his stock's under pressure. I mean, he went from 379, hit a low of 176, and now we're at like mid range, like a little bit lower than mid range, just 231. So he's facing a lot of pressure for investors that he needs. They want to see a recovery. I mean, they want to see this back up to 300, 400 area, but they have to do something. They have to deliver their vehicles. They have to get the technology right. And unfortunately, the odds are stacked against them. But I mean, kudos to Elon Musk that he's able to survive with this amount of pressure. I mean, 90%, 95% of people would have cracked already and done something terrible to themselves, or just said, screw you guys, I'm going to go on, take the money, I'm going to go on island. Other CEOs would have got ousted. But Elon is keeping on. So, good for him. As long as Elon Musk is a CEO, you got to be a little bit cautious on going too short. But obviously, if you're long-term short here, I mean, it's paying out. I mean, the numbers don't lie. But you got to be cautious because they do have the semi and the pickup supposed to be coming out, but not sure when that's going to happen. And I'm not exactly sure if they throw a couple more vehicles in the mix, what that does for their production. So, yeah, he can't tweet anymore. They took away his Twitter rights, which, I mean, I think it's good for shareholders. I mean, they should. I'm probably gonna get in trouble here, but they should do the same for Trump, because he causes the markets to go haywire, and at the end of the day, I don't think anyone really knows why he tweets the way that he tweets. I think there were some gems today on Twitter. I think there were some gems. Let's see. What was? Let's see here. Was there some gems today? I think there was some gems today. Yeah, I mean, he was just going off. I was wondering why the market was going down today, and I don't think this had anything to do with it. Wow. Looks. I guess it's just like a confessional. It had nothing to do with. I know nothing about blah blah blah. He did say that the AT&T activist was an activist investor was a good idea. Bashing CNN. Don't sleep on U.S. oil stocks in general. I think I mentioned it to you before. I haven't been trading oil. I don't know. It's just not that interesting to me. But oil's up. I mean, futures are up $1.50 today, which is pretty big. Oil's at $58 a barrel. You'll get a little bit of pressure, a relief at the pump, but. What was it? Wasn't it like John Legend's wife or something? I don't know. It was nuts. Oh, here we go. When all the people pushing so hard for criminal justice reform were unable to come to even close to get it done, they came to me as a group and asked for my help. I got it done, and with a group of senators and others who would never have gone for it, Obama wouldn't even come close. A man named Van Jones and many others who were profusely grateful at that time. I signed into law. No one else did. I signed it into law. I mean, just the way he talks is just like, who talks like this? But now that it has passed, people that had virtually nothing to do with it are taking the praise. Guys like boring musician John Legend and his filthy mouth wife are talking now about how great it is, but I didn't see them around when we needed help getting it passed. And I'm not going to read what it says on the stream because YouTube flags you for, but you can read what it says. Wow. No, I phone 4%. I'm almost wrapped up. So, yeah, this is what the president wastes his time on today. But it is what it is. The markets were crazy. We ended up flat though. I will be doing a watch list tonight. If you watch this video to the end, comment below. Watch this video to the end. I definitely appreciate you guys. As always, stay safe, stay green. It's always us versus herd.